My son-in-law's got this ISEKI tractor, mini tractor, and there's a couple of jobs to do on it. We want to extend the exhaust pipe because at the moment it exhausts from the front and then the diesel fumes just blow back on you when you're trying to use it. And the second thing is he's got the lifter on the front but he's got nothing on the back. Now he does have a rotavator but he's not keeping that, so he needs some weight on the back. So the idea is to make a box, fill it with concrete as a dead weight, just to go on that 3-point connection at the back. He uses it all over the small holding, it's incredibly useful. So we can see where the exhaust is. It has a stainless steel cowl and that's where the pipe comes out. So we need to put something on there that goes up vertically and just gets the smoke away from his blowing back on him, that's all. Here he's got a 3-point linkage, so we'll be looking at putting a box onto there and then filling it with concrete and get some weight from that. But we want to keep the tow bar hitch on there as well, so I'm here today to measure it up and figure out what to do. Well, you've seen the tractor and you understand what we're trying to do. Extend the exhaust pipe and fit a counterweight at the back. Now, we're a few days further on and I've been looking on eBay for stock for the exhaust pipe extension and I've found everything that we need and it's here. So here's an example, this flexible hose. I'll lay it all out on the floor in a minute. I've got to make some minor changes to it, a little bit of a nip and tuck here and there before I take it over to site on Saturday. So it's Wednesday today, so in a few days. But thinking about the counterweight, our idea to make a metal box, fill it with concrete, is not going to work. The concrete wouldn't be heavy enough for the size of box that we could reasonably make at any sort of sensible price. So we've had to think again, and we have another idea, but it requires us to source some stuff which may not make it into this video and it might have to go into a later video. But in the meantime, let's get this exhaust prepared and then I'll show you fitting it to the tractor on Saturday. So here we are laid out. The output stub from the exhaust, which shall go into there, is 32mm external diameter. And I managed to get this flexi tube with sleeves on both ends, 500mm long, as a standard stock item. I've got 1.2 meters of 32mm stainless tube, some clamps, a clip to hold this onto the frame at the front of the tractor, and then we were looking for a kind of flappy top, you know, like you see on tractors that go like that. Sorry about the sound effects. But actually we couldn't get one for a 32mm pipe, but we did get this kind of end piece. So we're going to use that. Now, I got all these parts actually unslotted because I wanted to decide how many slots I was going to cut. And in fact, I'm glad I did that because for this piece here, it's right near the top. It goes in pretty tightly and all I'm going to do is drill it and put in a self-tapping screw rather than having a big clamp up in the air like that. So I'll cut a couple of slots in here, one there, one over there, so these clamps nip it up. And then really I'm pretty much done. This clamp here had a rubber sleeve around it. I took that sleeve off. I tried to guess what size of clamp to buy because that's a 30mm clamp around a 32mm tube, but the rubber is removed. I might just have to make a little packing piece for that. Even these little things take time, and in fact I had a quick exchange with somebody in Polish on the channel. Now I don't speak Polish, I was only using Google Translate, But he said to me, "How are you doing?" And I said, "I'm fine. How are you?" And he said, "I'm fine, but there never is enough time." Something like that anyway. Now I need to drill a hole big enough for the screw as a clearance drill. I've pulled this tube out a little bit, but not all the way, because I want to stop this tipping as I drill it. Now where's the screw gone? Here we are. There we go. Now with self-tapping screw in. Looks much nicer than a great big clamp, I think. I wonder if the rubber that goes on these clamps is heat resistant, because if it is, I might leave it on. That's pretty hot, you know. It's almost too hot to touch there, and it's been cool for a little bit. It's a bit smelly, but I don't know. I think that might be heat resistant enough for that exhaust pipe where that's going to go. We can always decide when we fit it on the day. Back on the small holding to fit the exhaust, and of course, as usual, it's overcast and drizzly. So we've put the tractor in the shed so we can work on it in the dry. It makes my videoing space a bit limited, but we'll do our best. We've got it in front ways, and we've lifted the loader to give us some space. Well, you can see the exhaust there, and there's a stainless steel shield top and bottom. The light's not so good on this end here, if I try and point to it, but there's a 32mm stub that comes out of there, a kind of mini tailpipe, and we need to get this top cover off so we can get the clamp over the end of this pipe. And also this pipe, it's not smooth all the way around. There's a little blob where it was welded, so we need to file that off.
And we have spanners here, we don't have our sockets out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's coming out.
Yeah.
I think it's quite an old tractor. I think it's an 80s tractor, this, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 2-cylinder diesel, 80s. I think it's 1980, like in 88, 89, something like that.
Oh, we're off. Good. Let's have a look at that output pipe then. Yeah, it is thick. Crikey, yeah. Anyway,
but
it's
it's weld all right though, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
If you had to do.
Yeah, yeah. There's just a little blob on the end
I've
there.
got
We
a
just
file.
need to take that off. A couple of minutes with a file there, and we've got that little lump off.
At the top, won't it? So when the cowl goes over, is that
Yes.
going to fit?
It will if you push that far enough in like that, look.
Yeah, it should cut. Yeah, it will though. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fine, and we'll get that tightened up.
That's it.
It's all right, isn't it?
Yeah,
Easy job.
that's it.
That's amazing as a sort of off-the-shelf solution, isn't it? Look.
Yeah, because it looks like it's just been there all the time, doesn't it?
Yeah. This is where the counterweight will go when we find the right solution. We're just on the lookout for something. I'll tell you if it works. How good's your Japanese? If my Japanese is good enough, that says front loader mighty. Somebody will tell me if I've got that wrong. I think ma-i-te-i. Well, after a fair bit of messing about, we've actually been to the local hardware store and we bought ourselves a bracket because we couldn't get enough bend on this pipe here. Didn't want to go. But now we think we can just bring this up to here and we think that'll give us enough stiffness. Right, we've got our bracket on and we've got some clips on. It does wiggle a bit, but we'll just have to see how we get on when it's moving around. Obviously we could improve that bracket, it's just what we had today. We can make it better if we need to. The basic idea works, that's the important point. We could shorten that exhaust if needed. It's a bit higher than we'd planned. Take 10 inches off it, 300, 250 mil, 300 mil off it, easily enough. Let's have a go at these. Oilu, oil obviously. Chiaji, charge. And then this is going to be water. Temperature, I'm guessing. Well, I hope that was useful to you. Thank you for watching Hacks Be Shared.